of government of Kaduna State and of course the federal government. Thank you so much, Sheikh Gumi, for joining us. How are you?
Yes, it's a pleasure for me to be with you. Good morning.
Good morning. I'm sure you're following the situation in Kaduna State. Let's start from there. A number of students have been kidnapped in Kaduna State. First was the students of the Forestry College of Forestry and Mechanization, AFACA. 27 of them are still. 27 of them are still in bandit captivity, and was also the students of the Greenfield University that were abducted. 17 of them, the bandits are threatening to kill them. Are you in any way making any interface with these persons to see if some assistance can be provided for these students?
Yes. As for the forestry students, we have been trying to see whether we can get some of the herdsmen contacts so that they can release these people. We have been trying it, we have been trying our best, but you know, we have limitations and there are a lot of obstacles on the way. But the parents have been really consulting with us. We have been trying so hard to see if we can put some sense into these people so that they can release these boys. So then we have the Greenfield University students who were abducted after the forestry students, and the issue is a little bit more complex.
Seemed like we're having some technical hitch there. Sheikh Gumi, we cannot hear you. Maybe we'll take a short break quickly and see if we can correct that mishap, and then we'll be right back.
From the speaking, saying that they are not Boko Haram. They told us this. We will quickly give the money, but pounded. Sorry, somebody is calling me. I hope you have heard what I said.
No, we didn't. We missed a large portion of what you said. I don't know whether the interference that's coming into your phone has cleared up now.
Yes. I don't know. It was quiet just this minute. Somebody's trying to call me. Okay.
Okay. Are you with us? Are you with us at the moment?
Yes, I can hear you. Okay. I can hear you. But
all right. Let's take you back a bit to the forestry students. You said you've tried to make some kind of contact with the bandits, but it's a bit complex. Can you explain what that means?
Yes, you see, now we have two groups of bandits now. We have the ordinary Fulani ethnic herdsmen, and now there's another element which is coming in, which is the terrorists, the religious ideologues. And this is what I've been fearing. This is what I was telling the government, please support us so that we quickly go in and prevent this the terrorists from capturing these people. Because when you put pressure on people, they will look for the quickest ally who they can work together with, and this is what is happening now. The issue is getting compounded because this element is coming in. This Boko Haram and Saru is coming into the scene now. They are the ones that captured the what do you call it?
Greenfield University.
Greenfield University, and this is what we are telling the government. It's not a question of sleeping. We have to act very fast. We have met the herdsmen. They are not actually fanatical in religion. In fact, some of them are on drugs. They don't pray. They don't do that. Let's teach them the moderate religion. That is the best way to inoculate them against this toxic terrorist ideology. But the government is sleeping. Yes.
Sheikh, do you still think that these, bandits that you are now talking about are actually redeemable, considering the fact that they have continued to ask for ransom when they kidnap people and they have tasted the big monies? How is it possible that, how is it that you think that now with negotiations and even with government intervention that their position will change?
Sorry, I have
Did you hear my question?
Yeah.
Yes,
I've heard your question.
Please go ahead.
I've heard your question.
Yeah.
That's the question everybody's asking. How can these people be rehabilitated when they are used to big money? Hello, sorry, I'm very sorry for this interruption. You know,
it seems calls are coming into your phone.
No, just now, throughout the night, nobody was calling me. I don't know, just now somebody wants to.
I think maybe because they're seeing you on TV.
Oh, yes, they see me on TV, that's why maybe. So, what we are saying, this same question everybody is asking, do we have a second option? No, we don't have a second option. These people can be rehabilitated, because what we saw is that all this amount of money they collect, they're buying weapons. Why do you buy weapons? They said, we are under pressure to fight government that has helicopters, is bombarding us. So you remove the pressure, the need for the money is there. When you go there, you don't see any luxurious life. You don't see any luxurious life at all. They are living in huts, they have nothing, they drink from sometimes from the stream. So I don't think we can say that they are used to a luxurious life that they won't live it. Actually, they don't even know it with all the money they get.
Sheikh, like you said, they are under pressure. Government is bombarding them, and according to what you say, they are saying that it looks like they are under attack. So maybe they're acquiring weapons to protect themselves. But then again, if the pressure is that much, why don't they renounce banditry? And are they also considering the lives of those that they are also taking, and the lives of people that they are also making, unlivable?
Okay, you see, if they leave banditry, they won't have source of financing their war machine. The question you asked, why are they fighting them? You see, the herdsman has gone through a lot of hardship. No government has really actually sat down to see into their plight, to modernize them, to even spend anything. Not one kobo of our Nigerian budget goes to them. And now they feel they are fighting an existential war. They are going to be exterminated, and they are fighting for their survival. So there is no question they cannot go into towns. They are confined to the bush, the forest. They don't feel they are Nigerians. So now they are fighting the system to be recognized. There is no way they can leave their weapons. So the best way to tackle this is to come and sit down with them. Look, you are Nigerians like us. We are going to give you all the privileges other Nigerians enjoy. They will listen. We sat down with them and they were listening to us, giving us complaints. Until when the government realized this, that they are fighting an ethnic war, to them, they have justified already what they are doing by kidnapping. The only element now that comes in is the terrorism, which I'm very afraid. If they are pushed to the wall, they will make an alliance. But so far, there is no such big alliance between them.
All right, Sheikh Gumi, let's go back to the Greenfield University student, the forestry student. You explained earlier that the persons that kidnapped the Greenfield student are not the bandits. They are Boko Haram.
Yes.
Is that what you said?
Yes, really.
And how are you sure of that?
You see, when we try to trace them and see whether we can put some sense into them, the contact, who is also a nomadic Fulani, they threatened him. They said, you yourself, you are your money. We are not like you people. If you insist on us, we are going to catch you, and you have to pay ransom before you get out. So you can see that they are different group. And the leader is from Jalingo, it's from Adamawa. It's not the local Fulanis we have here. So it means that northeastern element is coming into this area, and we have to move fast. We don't have time. We don't have luxury of time.
All right, Sheikh, let me ask you.
Let me tell you, I've been trying to speak with government, but nobody is really actually speaking with me on this issue. So people should know that, look, we are trying to pacify. We are trying to remove this, what do you call it, banditry. And they are responding. You only need partners.
Sheikh, actually, you know, you said this before, that headers, you know, these are headsmen, those bandits, you know, they are headsmen that have been pushed into banditry because government is not giving them, you know, the kind of attention that they need. And with due respect, Sheikh, heading is private business, just like every other Nigerian across the country. The man who owns a barber shop, the woman who owns a salon, the woman who owns a restaurant, and everywhere else across the country, everybody suffers for the, you know, socio-economic difficulties within and around the Nigerian terrain. So why do you think that the government should take special interest in people who are going about doing their own personal business?
Yes, you see, let me come down to your profession. You are a journalist now. If the government is clamping down on you, catching journalists, not allowing them to speak, I think journalists will come together and try to fight the government back. This is what happens to nomadics. Yes, there was cattle rustling,
but not with arms.
Wait, with your weapons. Your weapon is the media, and their weapon, you see, as a nomadic who is uneducated, has neither a formal or informal education, he has nothing, and he doesn't have a unified leadership to tell him what to do. They're just trying now to give them that, infusing them to try to show them, look, this is not a civilized way of seeking for what you call it, if you have grievances. This is not a civilized way of tackling it. Even this basic knowledge they don't know. They only know the language of violence. You have to teach these people.
Sheikh,
that's what we are trying to do.
You see the position that the Kaduna State government is taking. The Kaduna State governor insists that he will not negotiate with bandits, and he has his reasons. He had negotiated before. He had paid them to leave Kaduna, according to the governor. So what happened in Niger, in Katsina? Negotiations have gone south when it comes to negotiating with bandits, and it seemed like they cannot be trusted because they renege on their promises most of the time. So why are you insisting that the government should again come in?
Okay, let me start first. Now, I and you and everybody are sitting on 5 innocent students who were murdered and killed by these criminals. 5 souls were killed. Why? What amount of money is too big for us to save the lives of those 5 students? What amount of money? Secondly, we can give them the money, we get the boys out of danger, then go after our money. Nobody is saying that you should not fight them, but you can get the 2 back. But to say you will not negotiate with them, then also you will not take any action against them, and this is, I can't understand that. As for them renegating on their peace accord, they told us no government is serious, and I can tell you, yes, no government is serious, because after negotiating with them, leaving their weapons or giving out some of their weapons, the reaction of the government is aloof. You know, they leave them alone with nothing, no any program of rehabilitation, no program to see into their welfare, nothing. And so they definitely have to go back to their, and still the security will continue bombarding them, security will continue killing them with nothing from the government except harsh words, kill at sight, all this, that. And that's why we are in the quagmire we are now.
Are you having any conversations with the Kaduna State government, or are they reaching out to you to speak to these persons?
No, we see Kaduna State governor, we have met, we have spoken about this issue, but we are parallel in our understanding of the issue, the reading of the situation on the ground. He has his own security who are giving him the security update, and I have my own contact who are giving me, and there's disparity. I don't think we are really understanding each other on this matter, really. Yes, my friend, yes, but we are not understanding each other on this matter.
Sheikh Gumi, you have contact of these persons, I mean these bandits, armed bandits who are holding these persons captive. Have you, and you've tried to speak with them, and they've not been helpful. Have you provided this information to the security agents who possibly attempt a rescue of this person?
Yes, yeah. No. You see, in fact, especially these Greenfield University students, We have given them suggestions. We have contacted everybody possibly to contact everybody,
including the security.
All the security except the armed forces. All the security except the military. I mean,
why are you leaving the military out?
No, it's actually I have contact with the military, but not directly. I have what do you call it? Somebody who I work with, and he has been contacting the military and showing them the way out of this problem. And the military too. I think in the last incidents we had when they tried to kill them, there was a good response from them. The only thing is there is no bait. Bait, that is the money you give to free the children, then you take the military action. Then the children are safe, and there is nothing like that. I don't want to speak so much more here. These people, they still listen to the...
Yes, I understand, Sheikh Gumi, because questions have been asked about how the military and the security persons are responding to it. And one of the things that has been said is, if Sheikh Gumi knows where these persons are, how is it that the security operatives cannot identify where these persons are and attempt to rescue?
Everybody knows, can even pinpoint where they speak through their phone. Everybody knows where they are. The parents know where they are. And in fact, I'm encouraged, one of the parents is making his own private arrangement. We need to see that they have people to surround the area. The point is the life of the student is at danger. Any firing will kill 19. We don't like to see 19 corpses of our students. We don't want to see that. That's why the caution. But you see, the caution has to be, the operation has to be, there has to be a synergy of what we are doing. And there has to be some tactical moves and intelligence in what we are doing. Give them the money. 100 million is not a small money. You need truck to carry it. And there's no way they can get away with that money. So when you free the children, try to pursue your money. This is a simple logic, which I can't understand why we cannot pursue this line.
That makes sense. But Sheikh Gumi, you were actively involved in when the students of the Kagara school in Niger State were abducted, and some other abductions that took place there.
Yes.
And what we are hearing now from the governor of Niger State is that Niger State, a large portion of that area and other areas in Niger State have been taken over by Boko Haram. Tell us, from your own personal intelligence, do you think that some of these bandits have fused into the terrorist Boko Haram or ISWAP?
Yes, you see, you see, when we went to Niger State, the big warlord there is ready to cooperate with the government. Is ready, and he's ready to fight the elements, but he's not getting that cooperation.
What kind of cooperation are we talking about?
Cooperation is that he has some demands, I think, which I can say fairly the state government has done, but he said all these vigilantes should be banned. So what we advise the government is, no, don't ban the vigilantes, but incorporate them into state, what do you call it, the other civil defense, and get these bandits to and train them to be forest guards. They will guard that forest. They will drive away all those terrorists. They have told us. In fact, there's even some skirmishes and war between them and the terrorists, honestly speaking. There is so much information there. It's not for the public. But you see, what we are concerned, we are afraid about the infiltration, because now if the government is putting so much pressure on the herdsmen who are just local common Fulani herdsmen, they have no ideology. If we allow the terrorists to infiltrate them, then it will be completely a new story.
Is that infiltration not already taking place?
It's taking place, but it's not as deep, because I can say 90% of the herdsmen are still abiding by all our treaty accord with them. In fact, we have sent scholars now, more than 5 in 5 different regions right now. They have gone into them. They are preaching to them the true Islam, because Islam, the true Islam doesn't know terrorism when you kill innocent people. This is at all not Islam. You can see Islam in Saudi Arabia, you can see it in Egypt, you can see it in all over the places. It's only some few elements that are causing problems
Sheikh,
using the name of Islam, and we want this herdsmen to be protected against this infusion of the terrorist element.
All right. Sheikh, you were also, I don't know whether you were actually involved in Daudawa's case as well. Daudawa was a guy who was the mastermind of the Jangebe abduction. Is it? Kankara, beg your pardon. The Kankara abduction in Katsina State. He was said to have surrendered to the Zamfara state government. He was said to have repented, and some nice place was provided for him in Zamfara state. And all of a sudden, he was said to have gone back just last week, gone back to the forest to pick up arms again, and eventually reportedly killed. How could somebody who had gone through all these processes still go back to the bush, go back to his previous sins?
Yes.
Your interventions, do you think your interventions are working? If this kind of persons who has enjoyed...
Let me tell you.
Yes, go ahead.
Let me tell you. This same man was there when we are in Zamfara, near the Shinkafi area, where we gathered all these militants and their commanders. He was among the commanders that has attended our peace treaty. It is after that meeting he decided now it is time to stop banditry, and he surrendered. So he surrendered directly as a result of our contact with them, and he was given amnesty. But you see, such a commander who commands more than 1,000 youth armed, and you just come and put him in a house with no any program, no any engagement. How about his troops? So when you leave them, that's why I'm always asking for amnesty, because an amnesty is a package. It's a package. It's come with a package. We have to
Sheikh.
let me complete, please. We have to disperse them from the forest, bring them out, give them, train them into different. They can't all be herdsmen. We can make some into bricklayers, some electricians, some vulcanizers, like that. A program that will make them civil so that they can live with people. But no, nothing like that. You just give a house, you put a commander who has for many years been active in the bush, definitely he's going to go back.
Sheikh, honestly, from everything you are saying and have said, it looks like it's impossible to appease the bandits. I mean, Utibe just explained, this man, and you are giving an explanation. I apologize, but it would seem to me like these are excuses. Like, these people are meant to remain bandits, and they want to remain bandits, irrespective of what is done for them. Because promises are being made. Some of them have been kept. They're not patient enough for some of us to materialize. They go back. They take up arms. It seems like it's impossible. And take a look around the country. Sheikh, aren't you worried about the loss of lives in Benue, Katsina, Niger State, the taking over yesterday, Bauchi State, 4 local governments invaded in Bauchi State? Doesn't this concern you? Because it seemed to me that your only focus is these bandits. What about the people who are on the receiving end?
Okay, you see, just look at it this way. Like this Dauda that was killed, I can use him to quell the bad ones. I can use the good ones to suppress the bad ones. But as for the victims, they have the whole federal government, the state government, the local government looking at them. Where is our NEMA? What is it doing? If they are victims of these bandits, go and help them. They have government. They have the resources to take care of them. And now I'm talking of the people who are injuring the people. I'm trying to stop them from continuous injury. Because if I said I will concentrate on the bandits now, they will continue to kill people. But we see a way is to infiltrate them and get the good ones, who are more than 80%, then also indoctrinate them to suppress the bad ones, because they can do it. For example, now, this the man that was killed, Dauda, he was killed. He was killed by those who are opposed to the peace which he did. He came, they didn't trust him. They thought maybe is the government sending him to fight them again, so they killed him. You see, this is the issue. We can use the good ones to fight the bad ones, but how can you get the good ones when you don't infiltrate them, when you don't have any program for them to rehabilitate them? We are trying to stop the issue. As for the victims, I am also one of the victims. In many aspects, I'm a victim of banditry. So, but I have the government with me. I have the roads, I have the salary. When my children are studying at Ahmad University, which is sponsored by the government, but his own child, where is his child studying? Nothing. You see, if the kidnapped school children, why is the school for their own children where we can go and kidnap? Nothing. So I'm speaking with them, I'm speaking for them so that they stop what they are doing. And killing should stop. We are trying to stop the killing from that side. And I think it's important that people infiltrate into them and redirect them and stop them from within themselves, not from outside. We have to think out of the box. This is what I'm trying to do.
All right, Sheikh Gumi, let's talk about it. You've mentioned the issue of moderate preaching moderate Islam to these persons, yes, to accept it. Do you think that we are having a problem with preachings that are radical in nature, that are radicalizing certain groups of persons to act the way they're acting at the moment?
Yes, we have.
Who do you think is responsible for these kind of preachings?
No, you see, our youth, look, whatever people see, they copy from outside. You know, the internet now is also free. So whatever people see, they copy. And it's very unfortunate. You know, there is no any regulation on how people should conduct themselves in their mosque or in their churches. You know, you hear fiery sermons too from churches, from mosques, some trying even to divide the country, which is a taboo, which no people, because life of people is at stake. When you say you want to divide Nigeria through fiery preachings, then a lot of people will die. And you could see the effect of profiling. Now the Fulani man in the southeast, you know, we saw a family that was massacred, you know, children had their head beheaded, you know. All these kind of things, I think government should have some measure of control on what people, without infringing of right to speak, really. I think that is something which is a fundamental human right for free speech, but one has no right to instigate people into violence, to killing.
Sheikh, maybe you're concerned about extremist preaching such as this. Are you also concerned about some of the allegations that has been made against the Minister of Communications and Digital Economy, and some of his preachings which are still available on the internet, which you mentioned? Some of those recording preachings are still there, and some of his positions that he has taken before that are clearly associating himself with extremist groups in different parts of the world. Are you concerned about some of those preachings that they could possibly still be radicalizing different people in Nigeria at the moment?
No, you see, for a non-Muslim or for a Muslim who is not learned in Islam, will find it very unpalatable from what we can hear from his preaching when he was a youth. We find it very unpalatable. But you see, for us who have been in this, it's not a business, in this field for a long time. I've spent 22 years in Saudi Arabia studying Islamic jurisprudence. I can understand that. I see that the whole episode in the long run is helping us to establish a nation whereby Muslims can participate as good citizens of such nation without necessarily thinking that Muslim has to have a caliphate. Because you see, the caliphate itself, people don't understand. It didn't last more than some few hundred years until when it turned against the Muslims, because all the scholars, Islam is about scholarship. In fact, the Prophet ﷺ said, Al-ulama warathatul anbiya. The scholars, the Muslim scholars, they are the heirs of the Prophet. They are the ones that maintain the religion. But you see, the caliphate was against scholars. Abu Hanifa, Malik, Shafi, Ahmad, all scholars have problem with the state. In fact, the state was even against the Muslims until when it was completely destroyed. So now you say, when you want to create a state, this same state will fight Muslims. So you see, this is what they don't understand. But now we are forced by circumstances to have nations based on region, tribe, and other features, race. And Muslims, by consensus of contemporary scholars, that yes, you can stay in your nation, be a Nigerian and a Muslim, be a Saudi Arabian and a Muslim, be a Pakistani and a Muslim. It doesn't stop. Like a Christian can be a Nigerian, Christian can be an Italian. You don't have to be in Rome, or you don't have to establish a kingdom of papacy.
Sheikh Gumi, let's because we don't have much time. What do you think? What do you really think about this preaching the preachings that Pantami did, and the accusations facing him at the moment?
Look, this is what I'm trying to lead you to. So now, when he's in the government which the terrorists see as a devil, as working with it makes you a kafir, that your blood is halal, you know, they can kill you. When he's working in a government, is the greatest weapon for us. So now when you remove them, this same terrorist will tell you, we told you that government is kafir. We told you that, and now you see how they are expelling you and expelling you. So you leave him. In fact, we need more of them in it. We need more of like Pantami working in government. Then it will stabilize the polity. It stabilizes it.
So again, what we should be doing is doing what the terrorist wants. What pleases the terrorist.
No. You see, when you have a clergy as a governor, like you have a reverend as a governor, then they have no talk. For instance, if in Maiduguri they have the scholar there as the governor, I'm telling you, the war in Maiduguri will change, because now the people and Boko Haram people cannot disengage the youth, and that the government of Maiduguri is not Islamic. You understand what I mean? Since a scholar can be a governor, let him be a governor. Then it should be a war between the Muslim cleric governor and the Boko Haram leaders, and the youth can be dissuaded from joining the Boko Haram. This is very important, but I think you have to be patient.
Yeah, my question to you, I don't think you've thoroughly answered it, Sheikh Gumi. I'm saying he associated himself with the Taliban, I mean known terrorist groups, and also terrorist individuals in the world. He held positions that were extremist in nature.
When was that? Now?
When was that? Could you tell us? Could you tell us when that was?
That was so many years ago. When it is the vogue for, when you ask all the Muslims.
When you say so many years ago, can we put a date on it?
Maybe 15, 20 years back.
15, 20 years back. That takes us to 2001, 2002, 2003. When he would have been in his 30s, isn't it?
You see what you have to understand then. The youth, all the youth, the Muslim youth completely. In fact, we had problem with them. You see, when we start to criticize Bin Laden, then we are the outcast. So I can imagine a very young preacher going with the current.
Sheikh, was he a very young preacher at 32? Would you say somebody who is 31, 32 is a very young preacher?
Would you say somebody who is 31, 32 at the age that Pantami was at that time was a very young person who didn't know what he was doing?
Oh, you see, I am 61 now. At 61, I'm still a young person to be speaking for Islam. I'm telling you, speaking. Islam is so wide. It's not for a young man of 37 to be speaking about Islam and Islamic studies.
So what you're saying is that persons at age 30 shouldn't be engaging in preaching anything about Islam.
A person of 37 years in Islam is a non-entity, is a student, not even a scholar. We don't consider them as, even Bin Laden is not considered a scholar. Ayman Az-Zawahiri is not considered a scholar.
So are you admitting that? Are you admitting that what he said
in their 70s, 80s?
Sorry,
in bars and other things.
Sorry, Sheikh. Are you admitting here that what he said at the time was wrong?
Was completely wrong. But because he was a young man and he was carried by the current. Look at
at what point does one take responsibility for his actions in life? His actions or his words in life? At what point does one take responsibility for it?
You see, when he's more matured now, if he says anything or does anything to the contrary, I will take him responsible. But now being a minister, he has seen, okay, the right way to behave is this. Let me give you an example. Ezezeki was the first person who was telling children to be destroying their certificate that Western education is kufur. Ezezeki started that, but you see, in the end, he has changed. He's even encouraging his his followers to join the army, to join police, and he was at one point a chairman of peace negotiation in Kaduna State. So you see, he has changed.
All right, Sheikh Gumi, would you also apply the same theory on somebody who perhaps committed murder or killed somebody or committed any form of crime at the age of 20, and he says he was a young person at that time, he didn't know what he was doing? Would you also apply the same principle?
No. If there is murder, then that person should be brought to book.
But if somebody preaches the kind of preaching and sermons that could lead others to commit murder, what is that?
Yeah, but how do you link that preaching to the murder? How?
When somebody, for instance, celebrates a group of persons or terrorists who kill people, what is that invariably saying?
Look, see, please bear with me. When you are talking about Al Qaeda, you see, let's put it in quote, the Islamic terrorism started in 1945 when the State of Israel was created, and we all know the bloodshed and the displacement of people that took place in 1945, 1948 upwards in Palestine. If up to now you have IDPs in Lebanon, in Syria, who are denied their homes, whose parents were killed. You see, when you have an Islamic reaction from the youth, not from the state, from the youth, then you can understand this is not a religious issue. This is a more or less a political issue. Okay. When you find a child or a young preacher preaching pro or against this issue, you don't link it to Islam, because you have to look at both sides. You see, when you are just in your judgment, then you can understand it. You cannot come and start criticizing one side without criticizing the other. Since the state of before 1945, they will not have one single case of where we have Islamic youth committing terrorist attack. There is none. We oppose it because we say, look, it's not yours, it's for the state to fight, not for an individual or a group of boys. This is forbidden in Islam. So allow the state to organize themselves and reclaim whatever they want to reclaim, but don't take law into your hands.
All right, Sheikh Gumi, we want to thank you again.